see you move. Can you turn me up a little bit more? Oh my goodness, it's like all of a sudden, it seems like overnight, just boom, you're famous. Lose my mind, give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like when I'm on stage, like I'm a different person. Like I totally explode and I have attitude, but when I come off the stage, I'm just so like, this entertainment business has not affected me really at all. I'm still the same Britney.
Do you find it hard to deal with the fame part of it? Where are you able to go out in the street, or everyone knows it's you?
Sometimes. I'm just now starting to get like, like you'll go into a store and people will be like asking you for your autograph and stuff. But it's flattering to me. I think it's really
something
sweet.
you always craved. Did you know from a very early age that this is what you wanted?
Well, from an early age, I always knew I wanted to perform, and doing that, fame comes with that. So, I'm just, I've always wanted to perform and being on stage, and that's the best feeling in the world. For the most part, it hasn't really been that bad for me, because if I want to go somewhere, I've learned now, I just wear a hat and then shades, and I'm cool, so that's what I think about fame.
Perhaps Britney's so insistent that butter wouldn't melt, all kinds of tabloid rumours have blown up about her. So, has she had a boob job? Is she really 17 or 27? Is she an alien love child? Who knows?
It's just something I think you're just going to have to deal with in this business. And it's really sad that what people will say to sell a magazine, and, it's really hurtful sometimes. I would be lying if, because I'm a really sensitive person, but it's just something that I'm just going to have to deal with, That's, people are going to say what they want to say, no matter what.
Now, the last time you were on, it was just before Baby Hit Me One More Time.
I know.
You were pretty much unknown in this country, and now you're a worldwide sensation. Tell me what's been going on.
Well, a lot has happened since then. It's been such a whirlwind. I've had such an amazing year. I've been really blessed. Before I went overseas to do promotion and stuff, I didn't realize the impact I had overseas. And I thought, okay, well, the album's doing great here in the U.S. And I went overseas and I was like, wow, people know me here too. It's really, really weird that my name is known all around the world. It's crazy, and it's really exciting. Too, so.
Britney, how hard is it to mature in front of the world? Because 16, 18 is a difficult time.
Yeah, it is, and people do, it's kind of weird that, things that I wear in videos and stuff, kids actually look at that and they're like, oh, I want to wear that. When I go to do my concerts, there's actually kids out in the audience wearing the exact same things that I'm wearing. So I think it does matter what I do and what I say, but I'm not I don't feel pressure or anything, because a lot of people are like, do you feel like you're a role model, you feel pressure and all this. I was like, I'm not the type of person that want to go out and do something bad anyway. I'm just being me, so.
Yeah, but it is a stressful profession.
Yeah, just having so many
Yes.
people, it's really weird. My success has been coming up and everything. So many people want to, attach to you, and you don't know who your real friends are and everything. It's kind of therapeutic for me, seriously, when I'm on stage and I see everyone out there. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
How old were you, Britney, when you first realized... Brit, may I call you Brit?
You can call me Brit.
I'm just kidding. How old were you when you realized this is what you wanted to do? You wanted to be a performer.
Ever since I was a little girl, ever since I was born, I knew this was what I was going to do. I was singing in the bathtub, in the bathroom, always performing in my room. It was just something that I knew I was going to do, so.
After the huge success of your first album, there was a lot of pressure, even pressure that you put on yourself, to make the second album a big hit, and it is. What do you think that proves?
I don't think it really proves anything. It's just me basically doing my thing and me just having fun. There's not something that you say, well, I'm going to do this so it'll be big, or I'll do that, Just go in the studio, do what happens, and just sing and do what you feel at that moment, and just pray that everything falls into place and everyone likes it.
Time in all of this, last 3 or 4 years, when you finally woke up one day, or was there a seminal point where you said, you know what, I've actually made it?
When my song played on the radio in Kentwood, Louisiana, I felt very like I had made it, yeah.
Britney, you're 19 years old and you have had 3 successful albums. How do you cope with being in the spotlight at such a young age?
When I'm on stage, that's my time to be in the spotlight and to go there. But when I'm off stage, I'm just like everybody else, And I just make a lot of time for that, for my soul.
How are you dealing with all of this fame right now?
Honestly?
Yeah, honestly.
I don't see myself as a famous person.
But people remind you, so how do you deal with that?
Well, I just keep a wonderful group of people around me. A really good support system. So they don't treat me like if I'm having a bad day, they're not like, oh, they're like, shut up, you know.
Yeah.
And they put me in my place.
To be your age and on top of the universe. I mean, when you wake up in the morning, do you think, okay, I'm Britney Spears?
And you're not!
I'm totally Britney Spears!
No, I don't see myself like that at all. You know, I mean, of course I feel so blessed every morning I wake up and I cannot believe that I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing, but I don't see myself as like Britney Spears.
You don't?
No.
And even when you're 9 and 10 years old and you're doing all these things off-Broadway and winning Star Search, did you have aspirations to become a major star, or was it just something that you were going through as a kid?
Oh, this is something I definitely dreamed
what?
about. Oh, yes. When I was younger, this is definitely what...
It's everything you thought it would be, too, I'll bet.
Yeah.
And even more.
Is it hard? Do you think it's hard by being so famous and such a star to sort of, you know, have your normal life, to do your nails and your hair and to go to the beach with your friends? How do you deal with, like,
well, if you
take a picture of me?
It's hard, you know, you just have to balance it out, you know, and I mean, whenever I do something, like an event, you know, I make sure I have time off that I can go spend with my family, and we go to cool places where there's not that many fans, and I can, yeah.
So you kind of like, when you go out, you have to deal with it because you feel like everybody loves you and you have to kind of be there, right?
Right. Well, to a certain extent, you know, but I have my security guards that are the bad guys, you know, they definitely...
He's a big guy.
They take care of me.
You know, to be by yourself, there's always somebody with a camera, with an autograph, with something zeroing in on her when she goes out.
You know what, I think when I have my security with me, it kind of brings like a lot of attention, and sometimes it is necessary, but there are times where I go out by myself and it's just like, you know, you try to keep it low key and you sneak in and it's just you and your friends, and you know, we go to our little areas and we, you know, I make sure I have a good time, trust me.
Grabbing your stomach, and it made me think, are you shadowed all the time?
Wait, what?
Just picture of you, a stuffed Britney Spears holds her stomach like anyone would after eating too much.
I guess my food must have been really good for me to do that.
Do you see photographers following you all the time?
Yeah, well, it's not all the time. I mean, kind of in LA, there's, you know, there's usually a lot of photographers and stuff, but when I go to London, it's not as bad. It's cool. When I go overseas, I can kind of escape. So seriously, what I want to do, I think would be a lot of fun, is when they come up and all the cameras are in your faces and the video cameras, I want to get like a play water gun and just squirt the shit out of them. I know that sounds really stupid, but that would make me feel so good. Just to like go and just get them, you know. That, I don't know. But hey, that would give me even more press. So you know, you lose either way.
Actually, you know what? I don't want to be in this business anymore.
No, I don't see that. I genuinely love what I do. I mean, there are hard things about what you do, but I'm a hard worker, and being on stage and performing and dancing, those moments totally make up for all the hard work and all the other chaosness that goes on. I'm really thankful to be able to live my dream like this. I'm very blessed.
What was that dream? What did you think you would end up doing when you were younger?
I just dreamed of like being on stage in front of like thousands of people. That was like my dream. I felt like at home when I was doing that. So that was my dream. So I'm living it right now.
Yeah, you are.
The first time it really...
Yeah, I think the first time, I mean, it has to sink in at some point that, okay, this is my life now. Do you remember when that point was?
Probably around like the third album. When it came out, I just really started getting the groove of things, and I was like, oh, this is, you know, how it is and stuff
So
like
it
that.
took you 2 #1 albums to figure that out? I'm thinking after the first one, you might just know, this is going well, you know?
Real quick, how are you guys responding to all the hubbub over what happened the other day with Sean Preston and and Starbucks and everything? And
It is what it is, you know, the press, I mean, it's nothing new with them, with me, so it's kind of like, you know, I made a mistake, and so it is what it is, I guess.
What do you think it'll take to get the paparazzi to leave you alone?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is that one of your biggest wishes?
Yeah. It's okay. I would like for them to leave me alone.
If you could talk to them as individuals, not as a group, what would you say to them?
I would just say that you have babies at home, and you have a wife, and if you don't, you have to realize that we're people, and that we just need privacy and we need our respect. And those are things that you have to have as a human.
And yet, as upset as it makes you, you wouldn't trade your life now, it seems. That seems strange for some people to understand. If they're making you this miserable, how can you still say, but I'm lucky?
Because I have to believe that I'm here for a reason.
What's the reason?
I don't know. I keep searching every day.
What about Piece of Me is, it's kind of about your image in the media and the paparazzi swarming and everyone always on your case. What was the message you wanted to convey with that song?
Just, you know, like wherever you go and stuff like that, there's a lot of people who, like, you know, want to ask questions and, like, you know, they just, you know, sometimes you know, you don't know their intentions and stuff like that. So it's just kind of a cute way of putting it out there, you know, like, you want a piece of me, and, like, in a, you know, cool, cute, clever way. So, but it's, you know, it's like, it's a cute song. I like
How much does that overwhelming coverage actually get to you and bother you?
Oh, the coverage of it? I try not to let it get to me. You know, people talk and they say what they want at the end of the day, you know, in the tabloids and, you know, the magazines, and you just try to keep doing what you do, and, like, you know, and as long as you know what's up and you know it's true, that's, you know, all that really matters. And, you know, it's sad, you know, how cruel our world can be, but at the end of the day, like I said, you know, you just got to know in your heart that, you know, you're doing the best that you can, and, you know, that's basically it.
Keep your mind together with all this hype around you. I mean, you're one of the most photographed women on this planet, and there's so many people around you, there are so many fans, there are so many people who have an opinion about you. I mean, how do you stay normal and sane?
Well, I'm really kind of stubborn, you know. I know what I like, I know what I want, and I think that's a good thing in this industry. So you're not influenced by others and what they say and what they think.
You know, I went to the VMAs this year, and it was a really cool moment for me to, like, you know, be able to receive that award and stuff like that. There was one of those moments where I'm like, it's kind of cool to be me, you know, because it was really, really special, but not all the time. Days aren't always like that.
Everybody around the world sort of views you as a huge megastar. How do you see yourself?
I see myself as an underground star.
How does Britney handle the fame?
I would say if you're trying to get into this career, just be really headstrong, believe in yourself, and don't give up, and be very brave. This business is really hard to get into. I think you have to know the right people. It's really cutthroat. You have to be very determined and very focused and very disciplined, and know that there's going to be a lot of work ahead of you to, you know, make it in this business. It's a lot of hard work, and you know, I think once you're cut out for that and you really understand what that means, I think then you can succeed.
When I started out, I always wanted to make just enough money to buy a beautiful home in Louisiana and to have kids and do that. You know, I never thought I was going to continue to do what I do.
Do you still get that joy every time you're on stage?
I really enjoy what I do. I have fun performing. I feel like I'm at home on stage. So, and I feel blessed that I'm able to do that. That is my job.
Britney Jean also has a song on it called Alien. And I understand that you kind of felt like, or have felt like, an alien, and this came from a little bit of personal experience. Can you talk about what it means?
Yeah, well, it just means that, you know, when you're, you know, there's a certain moment in all of our lives where we feel kind of alone, and you feel alienated from people sometimes, and you just alienate. I mean, you actually kind of do it to yourself, but it's like just something that you do, not out of choice, but it's just something that happens. It's human nature, and that's what the song is about.
But now someone would think, well, hold on, how could you feel that way? I mean, here you are. Everybody knows your name. Wherever you go in the world, did you feel that way?
I've felt that way before, yeah. I've had days like that.
Taylor Swift almost broke your record. You hold the record for the last 14 years, biggest first week sales for an album ever with Besides It Again. How does it feel to still hold that record after 14 years?
I had no idea that was even the case, so that's really cool. That's that's pretty phenomenal. I like that. I'll just have to toot my own horn. It's pretty cool.
The single life now, and of course everybody's all focused on that. How do you kind of stay away and push that away from you? Because you've been so public about it.
Really, it's a part of my life. It's a part of, you know, my life is kind of like an open book to the tabloids and everything, so it's kind of hard to step away completely from it, but you just do, you know. I'm all about work right now. Success it depends on, you know, a state of mind and how you feel spiritually. I've, put my family first and, God first and my family second and my career comes third. So I just try to balance those things out. And when I'm doing a really good job with that, success comes my way.
So one question, I've always wanted to ask you this is, you've been in the public eye since you were 12.
Yes.
Because that was a huge show, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever fantasize, do you ever wonder what life would be like if you hadn't been? Do you have a kind of...
I do. I kind of go, I have this thing where I go into denial a little bit and I'll put a hat on and I just pretend like I'm like everybody else and I'll go out. And it really usually works because no one pays you any attention.
So sort of a disguise?
It's like a disguise,
and
yeah.
when you have to become Britney again, does that feel weird?
Well, it's I'm used to my show. It's like a character change. It's kind of like I'm a performer, so I know how to mentally adjust my head to go there in character. It's not me. It's not who I am at all, but it's part of what I do.
So what would the real...
Britney, has there ever been a time where you've wished you weren't famous?
That's a very good question. Yeah, I have wondered that before. And you know what? A lot of times I'm actually a very kind of very private person. And so sometimes I'm in denial of that I'm really famous because it's too much, I think for someone to reach that kind of magnitude to really understand it. And I feel like when you're younger, it's easier, but as you get older, it's one of those things that's just kind of like, huh? What is this? This is kind of crazy, But there's a lot of people that are in store for it and that can, completely understand it and appreciate it for what it is. And that it's, I go back and forth with it, honestly.
What am I to do to win my life?